Aloha, Scott Sylvan Bell coming to you live from Oahu. I'm at Waimea Bay, one of the coolest places on earth. I was out here a couple months ago for the Eddy. They had 65-foot waves out there, and a 67-year-old man rode them. Eddie Aikau's brother, Clyde Aikau. Boom. Bomb diggity awesome. There's 25,000 people on the beach. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. Perfect day, though. Perfect day to talk about sales. So here's the thing. I meet with salespeople consistently, and I get hired out from other companies. And sometimes the company owner or the manager will call me, and I'll do a diagnostic on them, and I'll ask them questions, because prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. That's something you need to learn in the sales process. And they'll tell me what's going on, and I ask them, I'm like, you know what is your level of accountability for your salespeople? And then they'll tell me, okay? Now, why this came up is recently I got a phone call, and the guy says, hey, Scott, I want you to come out and train my guys. And I'm like, cool, here's how much money it is. Like, but I want to guarantee that they're going to get better. I'm like, well, what's your level of accountability? What do you do for your guys? And he goes, well, I don't have one. And I said, well, there's no way I'm going to give you a guarantee. And so a lot of times when I go inside of a company and I help them out, it's hardly ever the processes. A lot of times they have pretty good sales training, they got decent sales training, but the problem is the accountability from the management. Right? So a lot of times people are like, well, I want you to come out and train. I want you to guarantee it. But they've had like 50 other guys come out and train, or girls, whatever. And the person's trained, they do their job, but there's no level of accountability, and they're chasing the shiny ball. They're chasing like the next thing. They're chasing like give me the secret tip that's going to make everything unlock. And it's like, yeah, it's hard work, buddy. Hard work. That's going to be the super secret tip. Like hard work, lots of effort. And so they're like, well, I don't hold my people accountable. And then like, good luck getting anything done, right? And there's places where I've said, I don't want to work with you because I don't want my name on it, and I know what's going to happen. If I were to give you the training and then your guys don't implement, you're going to come back and say it didn't work. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? So hardly ever is it a question of, is the training good? Good, decent training is going to get results no matter what. If you do the same thing consistently, you're going to get results. But, I see this problem a lot when side of managers are afraid to hold their people accountable. They're like, I want to be this guy's friend. I want to get this guy's buddy. Well, go to the bar, to a club, or to a gym, or to some other gathering to do that. But, if it's your job to be a manager, you got to hold your person accountable. And, I love what Jack Welch says. Jack Welch is a brilliant dude, right? Jack Welch says, hey, when you're in a rowboat with a bunch of other people, you know who's rowing and you know who's not. And like when I was a salesperson full-time, and I would see some guy slacking off and leads were divvied up and given to the salespeople, I would freak out when this guy didn't take his lead seriously. I'm like, I would have done something with that, right? So the salespeople in a group, they freak out. They want the manager to hold people accountable. I've had guys pull me aside from different companies like, what drives me insane about this company? I'm like, what? Like, I take my job seriously. That guy takes his job seriously. That guy takes his job seriously. But those 7 other yahoos, they don't. And they waste the time. They come in, they ask the same questions over and over again, and they don't implement, right? That's a manager's fault. That's an accountability issue. And so a lot of times, and I want you to understand this, a lot of times, it's an accountability issue more than it is sales training. So you're like, but Scott, I don't have a manager. I don't work for myself. You got to hold yourself accountable. You're like, but Scott, how do I have this conversation with your manager? It's really tough to go to a manager and go, hey, you're not doing your job. So you got to be careful with that one. You're gonna have to figure out how to make it so it's right and say, hey, look, what do we got to do to make Jim over here or Bob over here or Steve over here do his job? I feel like the company's missing revenue. You always talk about like the risk. Always talk about what's missing. I feel like the company's missing revenue. And sometimes that manager will be like, hey, you know what? Go worry about your own backyard. Go worry about tilling your own field, whatever they say. But a lot of times it's more than the training. It's the accountability issue. It's the person who doesn't want to hold their employees accountable that causes a lot of the sales problems. And I know I'm probably going to get some heat for it, but you know what? If you're a good salesperson and you're sitting there and you're like, you know what? This happens to me. Do me a favor in the box. Put it down below, right? Just leave a message. This happens to me. This happens at my company. You don't have to go into details. Just put, this happens at my company. And you're going to see, it's not just you. It's a bunch of other people who have this problem. It's an accountability issue. Hardly ever a training issue. There's a lot of good and decent training, right? I like my training. It's exceptional. There's a lot of good and decent training out there, but without the accountability, portion of it, that training is going to go nowhere. That training is going to sit on the shelf, and then they're going to be like, "Where's the new shiniest thing? Where's the new shiny thing? I want the new shiny thing." And then they bring in another trainer, and it just, hey, you know what? I'm more of a fan. I'm going to tell you what's up. Guy says, "Hey, I want you to train my guys. I want you to guarantee it." Well, cool, I'll do that. But what's your accountability? Well, I don't have any. I'm not guaranteeing nothing, right? I can't guarantee results when you don't have anything that's going on. It's really tough to guarantee results because a lot of people don't implement anyway. Create some challenges. So there you go. If it happens to you, leave a message just like real quick. Yep, this happens in my place of work, and it happens in every industry that I change in. Accountability is what needs to be fueled to get to the sale, right? And sometimes there are people in the group who shouldn't be in sales. They should just be flat out taken out and asked to leave and go work for the competitor, because then they'll go waste leads for them, okay? Now, if you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, it's like right here, leave a comment, question, or story. Remember the comment. Hey, that happens where I work. And then you can hit the subscribe button. It's like somewhere in here, just like at the same time you hit it, just go boom, subscribe. And then send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, I don't know, Google+, LinkedIn. Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.